Good evening. The rural municipality of Wilton has declared a state of emergency. They are currently in contact with other provincial jurisdictions to help solve this problem. Now, as we told you last night, the RM of Wilton is experiencing heavy flooding from the spring thaw. Crews have been working on the range roads to help drain the excess water. For updates on current road closures, visit the RM's website. The town of Maidstone has also declared a state of emergency due to excessive spring runoff. An official declaration from Mayor Cunny McCullough warns of a risk to Maidstone residents' health, welfare and safety, as well as property damage. The state of emergency was declared on Friday and is in effect through May 3rd. It's a disorder that strikes 1 in 88 children worldwide, and there are hundreds of cases in our region. April is Autism Awareness Month in Canada, and to commemorate, the border city hosted its first ever Autism Awareness Walk. Bart Pediasic reports.
Families gathered at Bud Miller Park to help support and learn more about the disorder that affects many children. Kids like 5-year-old Keaton Holmes.
He's very smart. He is nonverbal, but he shows us everything he wants and he gets it across very well.
Keaton's parents learned about his condition at a young age.
We were a little worried and scared. We weren't sure what to expect, but we seen some changes in him, and you know, as he's grown, we've adapted with him.
According to a representative from the local autism organization, the challenge with treatment is you can't paint all forms of the disorder with the same brush.
Autism is a broad spectrum of a disorder. You can be very talented and gifted to very severely impaired cognitively. It's not just you see one child with autism, you see every child with autism. Every single child is so different in their abilities.
The autism branch of the Lloydminster Health Foundation offers programs to help local families.
Most of our children come diagnosed around 2 to 3 years, and we work on social goals, communication goals, integrating these children into our community, work on decreasing sensitivity.
And families like the Holmeses rely on those services.
It's really important for him to have the one-on-one so that he learns to communicate in different ways, right? And not just with us, but with everybody around him.
For more information on autism and how to donate, visit the Lloydminster Health Foundation website. Bart Pediasic, Newcap News.
More than 800 people from Lashburn and area gathered at the community's Sportsplex last night. As Annika Notfate explains, it was a night to celebrate as the Lashburn Sportsplex's $5.4 million mortgage has finally been paid off.
3 of these board members.
The project for the new Sportsplex began in 1988. Mac Fleming, an active member of the community, got the ball rolling by donating $100,000. With high spirits, Fleming remembers the beginning of the project.
I think it started when we just finished the community hall. The first time I mentioned anything about it, we just come from a meeting for the hall, and I told this guy, Neil Reese, what I was planning on doing. And then, of course, from there on, he just took over.
Neil Reese says paying the mortgage off allows the whole community to breathe a sigh of relief.
I think it's a real weight off everyone's shoulders, especially the town too. We had wondered at one time if we wouldn't leave the community with some debt when it was finished, but we were very fortunate. These last 5 years have been really good to us.
This is another example of how the community of Lashburn and surrounding area work together to realize a dream.
And included in the evening was the unveiling of the new name. CN's $300,000 donation helped finish off the mortgage.
Sportsplex committee, whatever, we'd really like to thank CN Rail.
One of the highlights of the evening was the well-known country band Hey Romeo from Edmonton. And according to those who live in the area, it's a good reason to celebrate.
Happy with the product, and I'm really happy that this night has come along for them. That there's no debt left. I don't know whether, I didn't think that would happen this soon.
Anna Connaught-Bate, Newcap News.
And Kyle joins me for our first look at sports. Now, it's a good thing that, they're commemorating, the Boston Marathon victims, and yeah.
Well, it's a nice thing to see.
Absolutely. Now, talking about sports, what are we talking about right now?
Well, there was a sports psychologist visiting town. Okay. And as you know, sports are a very physical activity, yes. But a lot of people seem to overlook the mental aspect behind performance. To focus on the psychological issue in sports, the Lloydminster Minor Ball Association brought in a renowned sports psychologist to shed some light on mental performance. Dr. Lisa Rogerson provided practical guidelines and steps for coaches to help their players build better mental strength.
Or you could have them, write it out. Psychological aspects are becoming more important as parents and coaches put in more emphasis on winning and production. We wanted to give them some keys for controlling emotions during performance for their development age groups. Of course, the adolescent emotions is important for their performance. Working on goals and how to set appropriate goals for skill levels.
Dr. Rogerson has 20 years experience working with both amateur and professional athletes. She works sports development at the University of Alberta and has also worked extensively with those preparing for Olympic competitions.
We know how important the mental aspect is to the game of softball, and so for us to tap into her expertise on how to prepare our athletes to meet a high level of competition or any competition is really valuable.
In the near future, Dr. Rogerson is going to be working alongside some athletes that are preparing for the upcoming Sochi Olympics. Last night, the Red Dogs played Game 3 of their MFA season against the Battle River Shock. The Colored Canines were looking to stay undefeated. The two teams played in a windy Spruce Grove, with Lloydminster coming out on top 19-7 to improve to 3-0 on the season. And surprise, surprise, Donovan Granum had a rushing touchdown. Jordan McCormick returned an interception for another. The Dogs also scored 2 safeties and a punt single. They play the Edmonton Seahawks, a team they beat handily earlier in the season, on Saturday. Well, the Xtreme kicked off their season with a close 12-10 win yesterday in Edmonton. Today, the team from Kitscoty Lloydminster was taking on its counterpart from Vermilion. Picked this one up with the Xtreme leading 3-1. Brandon Peterson makes it 4-1. The Roar get that one back though. Keegan Bowman walks in and goes low. It's 4-2. Then more from Vermilion. They come roaring back. Matthew McInnes is all alone on Jess Robinson. No mistake, 4-3. Peterson at it again. He lets it go from the slot. It's 5-3 for the Xtreme. A low shot from in front pushes the Kitscoty Lloydminster lead to 3. Then Dennis Denville cuts the lead back to 2 as he gets the ball and rips it home. Vermilion again. McInnes walks around the defender and goes far side. It's a 1-goal game. Then Colby Ross bobbles the ball a bit but gets a handle, finds the back of the net. 6-6 at that point. 9-9 is the final. Fitting that these two teams tie in a great game. To some hockey now, and the Alberta Cup, where Team Northeast breezed through the round robin and semifinal, outscoring opponents 22-8. This afternoon, they are playing the team from Calgary North for the championship. The Northeast are the Alberta Cup champs with a 6-3 win. Lloydminster Universal Heat captain Cale Clegg had a goal and an assist, while his Heat teammate Mason Shaw also had one of each.